Hey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing
Good to
good.
see- So we're just chilling here with Asho. We're about to record.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're about to record.
pretty excited.
Yeah. Despite the windy afternoon in downtown Bloomington, I was curious to find out how one student juggles research, fashion, and college life. I sat down with Sudanese-born Margaret Asho, a sophomore at Indiana University, to find out how she makes it all work. Is it windy and cold for you? Is it typical of this time of the year?
Um, no.
No?
I blame it on the groundhog, to be honest. They said there's going to be a couple more weeks of coldness, and it's a little bit chilly still, so.
I love it down here this time of the year. Then they have to set it up out for outdoors. Do you like it down here?
Yeah, I don't typically go to Kirkwood just because I don't have time for it, but now this semester I have a whole lot of time, so I've been going much more often. Yeah, so I was at the Graduate Students in African Studies conference, the 2025 annual conference. It was wonderful. The presidents, everyone worked together and created a perfect conference. So while I was there, I was presenting there I was presenting on South Sudan. So my paper is about optimizing humanitarian aid in South Sudan using resource allocation and using data analytics. So I basically analyze suffrage trends and I analyze trends of humanitarian issues that the country is going through, and then try to predict it whenever the next one will be happening. So then we could we can allocate resources at a faster time. So that's what my paper is about.
Interesting. How did you come up with that topic?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been writing about South Sudan for a couple years. That's where I'm from. I was born in Indianapolis, but my parents are from South Sudan, so I'm pretty well informed on the country. But yeah, that's how I came up from it. Just history.
You know, when you talk about that, you have been writing about this particular topic for some time. You're a sophomore. So tell me about the background in writing. When did you start writing?
Yeah, not too long ago, maybe just in high schools, whenever I would start writing about South Sudan, I'd create some video productions on it. I'd edit some aspiring videos so people can learn more about the new country, so you can learn more about the history, learn more about the future of South Sudan, and just immerse themselves in South Sudanese culture.
Wonderful. And just like that, this particular writing and enthusiasm in your research won you an award at the Jesus conference.
Yeah, I won an award, and I think it was about the student, like most promising student, most promising scholar, that's what it's called. It was honestly really aspiring for me. It made me want to continue to work hard.
So describe the moment you found out that you had won. How did that make you feel?
Yeah, it was honestly surreal. I didn't know what to think. I was thinking, oh, me? I got this award. I It meant so much to me because a couple days ago I was just wondering, how am I doing as a scholar at IU Bloomington? Am I doing good enough? How much more could I be doing? So receiving that reward of promising scholar really just encouraged me to keep going and encouraged me to know that I am doing a great job here. In my presentation, near the end of it, I mostly talked about that you can take out some of the information that I put in about resource allocation, data analytics, and use it towards other countries as well that are suffering.
Do you have a mentor in all this when you're doing all this?
Yeah.
You know, because in graduate school, I know we have instructors, we have, advisors. So who is your mentor in all this?
My first mentor, Makobi Sylvester, he was my very first mentor here at IU. He really advised me to get into GSAS. I met him, I think my freshman year. I think it was the fall, maybe winter time. He's been helping me so much. I'm very, very, very grateful for him and for all the impact that he's had on my life and on my career. And my second mentor is Dr. Nana Omarami. She is the most recent mentor of mine for this semester and ongoing, of course. She has also had a positive impact on my life and my educational career. I'm very grateful for those two.
So have you faced any challenges in this research while you're doing this research?
Yeah, so honestly, it was a time challenge for me because, I mean, we're all students here that were presenting, so it was just mostly a time challenge of balancing my life, balancing my schoolwork, and balancing research.
And actually, how do you balance it now? Now you talked about, balancing the research and your undergraduate, how do you balance that?
Yeah, I mean, It's a great hobby of mine. I really love researching. I do know in high school I'd read a whole lot about research articles, and I would write some research papers. It was a very small scale, of course, but the way that I balance it all out is by putting aside time for it, like very strict time for it aside. I would put in a couple hours in a day, a couple hours in a week, making sure that I reach that amount.
So how has this whole experience, shaped your perspective in, research and going forward? What do you foresee?
Yeah, so in research, it shaped my experience that knowing that as an undergraduate, working, not necessarily working, but being alongside of graduate students, it really shaped my perspective of my position here at IU, that I can do so much more than I think I'm capable of. But specifically, the graduate students here at IU really shaped my time here in Bloomington, because I was having a hard time actually getting into this Bloomington lifestyle. I was feeling left out sometimes. Of course, I had my friends and everything, but society at Bloomington just wasn't doing the best for me until I honestly met wonderful people like Caroline and the other graduate students in African studies here. They really made me feel at home. They made me feel welcome, and my advisors made me feel welcomed at home and let me see that Bloomington is a great place and there's so much more to do here.
Yeah, talking about Caroline, I remember visiting you at the first conference. We also had another Sudanese from Kenya who was presenting here all the way from Kenya, and that is really positive. And so, yeah, we've talked a lot about research. When you're not researching, what do you like to doing outside here?
Yeah, on the outside of it, I have a YouTube channel, so I record videos that my friends and I just watch. I post modeling content, lifestyle content. So I'm a model, so tomorrow I'm actually going to be modeling at a cultural exposition. I'm going to be representing Congo, wearing their cultural wear, and much more on that. Hopefully you guys can come, or hopefully you guys already came. Yeah, so that's some things I do.
That.
Yeah, and then other than that, I draw. I like coding sometimes, reading, just things like that. Yeah.
That is not strange, because we just seated outside here, and last week I bumped into you going
Yeah.
into a shop for fashion, some fashion clothing, and
Yeah.
that. And then when you're talking about you have a fashion show tomorrow, that really confirms some of your your outdoor activities that you love doing.
Yeah, I love shopping for sure. She caught me shopping.
All right. So, what advice could you like to give to your fellow undergraduates who want perhaps to get involved in research and stuff like that?
Yeah, to get involved with research, Bloomington's a pretty great school to do it, knowing it's an R1 school. And I think if you really want to get involved, just have the correct community around you, get into the correct programs, and just make sure that they're focusing on undergraduate research or graduate research, whatever research you want to do, and go based off of that. Yeah.
Wonderful.